Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How y'all doing? Well, today I'm about to cook mustard greens and I'm going to cook smoked neck bones in my greens. I already have my smoked neck bones washed and they're in the pot, and I have minced garlic already in there. So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to season the pot with the neck bones and the water in it. And I have my greens, I'm going to be putting them in the sink in a little bit. So I'm gonna let you watch me as I season my mustard greens. Okay, so this is my pot with my neck bones in it. I don't have a whole lot of neck bones because the one I have, they're big. Turn my pot on. Found some larger size onion. So I'm gonna cut this onion up and put it in these in this neck bone pot for my greens. For my seasoning, I have onion powder, complete seasoning, garlic powder, ginger. I love ginger in just about everything. Little Lawry's. I don't have a lot of smoked neck bones in there, but you still have to be careful with the salt with the smoked meat because your pot would be too salty. And black pepper. All right, I have the mustard greens in the bag. They're supposed to be pre-washed, but I always wash my greens just as if I had got them from outside out of the garden. So these are mustards. Sometimes mustards and turnips be really dirty, but hopefully these are not. But I have 3 bags of these mustards. I have this big pot so they'll go in starting out, but these mustards are gonna really cook down. Okay, so I have my greens here. Like I said, these mustards, they're going to start out with a big pot full, but they're not going to, it's not going to be a whole lot of mustards. They're going to cook down low. So if you watch my last video when I cooked greens, what I put in my first water, I used like a half cap full of bleach. I know some people won't put bleach in their greens, but I do. I mean, they've been growing outside, wild animals, everything, been walking over. So I feel like I need to really clean them. And I put baking soda on my greens, a little baking soda. Just a dot of Dawn detergent. So I have all that already in the water. You have to go through these greens, so they say they clean, but they don't be that clean. You can't just wash them. You got to pick through them and look. With each washing, you got to pay attention to what's in these greens. Seems like I find more stuff on mustards and turnips than I do collards. Or it's like debris. Okay, I'm gonna let these these mustards soak a little bit, and I'm gonna get them washed, and I'll be back. Okay, I've washed my greens. This is the second bath right here. I've picked through them. Still picking with every wash. I'm still washing and picking. I notice sometimes people buy greens on YouTube and they just pour them right in the pot, these bad greens. But these greens have a lot of filth on them. Look at that. Look at that. You don't want to be eating that. So you need to really pay attention so you'll know what you're putting in your body. Because a lot of times these places, I guess they probably got mass production or whatever. And they probably clean it to the best of their ability. But it's always good to do extra at home. See, I'm still picking stuff out. Even the stems, I don't want those in there either. Now my first bath, use warm water with a half a cap full of bleach and about 3 teaspoons of baking soda. But this rinse here, this bath, it's just plain water. It's cold water. It's not warm anymore. They're much cleaner than I thought. The first bath, I didn't find any grit at the bottom of the sink. So that's the best way you can find that grit is when you run your hand at the bottom of the sink, especially with mustards and turnips. They usually are really sandy. So this company, Nature's Greens, they did pretty good on washing them. Washing all that sand off of them. So they're not really sandy. So that's a plus. So sometimes with mustards and turnips, you can wash them about 4 times or more, depending. Okay, so now we're getting ready to put the greens in. have them in a colander. Okay, we're gonna let these cook down a little, then I'm gonna add some more. Okay, we're gonna try to put the rest of the greens in. You see how full this pot is. Let's see how low it's gonna go. Okay, after I let these cook down a while, I'm gonna come back and put a little bit of bacon dripping in them. And I'm also gonna sprinkle just a little bit of sugar, not a whole lot. You don't want it to the point of tasting sweet. But mustard and turnip sometimes have a tendency to be a little bit bitter. Okay, let's see what these greens are doing. A stick of margarine in them. And this is some bacon dripping. And add a little bit of sugar. Okay, we're gonna let them cook, and we'll be back to check them. Okay, almost done. We'll be back later to check on them. Okay, so these collards should be about done. I just tried some and they taste a little tough, the greens. So what I'm gonna do in here is a teaspoon of baking soda and water. And that will help those greens from tasting tough. A little bit of baking soda. Remember, more is not better, because you don't want to alter the taste of your greens. Okay, you see how they cook down from that big pot I had starting out. Okay, I'm gonna cut them low and just let them cook a little bit more. Well, okay, I'm back in the kitchen to check on these mustards. Hopefully they're done by now since I put baking soda in there. Let's check them and see. Oh yeah, they look totally different. Now I can look at them and see that they're done. Oh, finally, because they were tough. So I had to cook them like an extra 40 minutes or so. Just so I can turn that fire out now because they're ready. Finally, they took a long time to cook. Now if it was colder weather, they wouldn't have taken so long because greens are more tender in cold weather. Thank you for hanging in there with me while I prepared my mustard greens. I really appreciate you coming to my channel. And if you don't mind, please, that little button there at the bottom, that subscribe button, please hit that subscribe button. Post notifications so you'll know when I'm dropping a new video, and please give me a thumbs up. I will really appreciate it. And once again, thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.